So Bastion's now been revealed as the big bad of Xmen 97.
Simply listen and obey.
The purple villain's been working in the background and conniving and scheming towards his evil plans. The season's showing that X marks the spot, and I was blown away when I learned this little detail.
Why?
Well, showrunner Bodomeo's announced that Bastion's in every episode except number 3. He put out a tweet saying he's been manipulating things all along and has challenged us viewers to go out and find him. So seeing this, I had to accept it, and I've gone back through the season to point out every time he appears. The first of these comes when Madeline enters Gyric's mind and she starts to uncover the secrets of his past. Now this includes the 4 key characters for Bastion's existence, which are Gyric, Trask, Mastermold and Nimrod. Bastion was fused out of the latter 2, and we get a montage of clips before seeing Mastermold's eyes. That's why a lot of the show's intro scenes have had Bastion and Mastermold, because they were trying to hint that Bastion's behind it. Both then confirmed the purple crayon we see next is also a nod to what's happening with the character. This is a callback to when Bastion was younger, right after Nimrod was forced through the Siege Perilous. Now the Siege Perilous, that's basically a pan-dimensional portal in which the figure that enters it is judged by the universe's higher powers. Nimrod was thrown out of the other side, which is where he awoke as a half-human sentinel hybrid. Found by Rose Gilberti, he was then given the name Sebastian, which was then, as you can guess mate, shortened down to Bastion. You're smart mate, you get it, give yourself a high five. This explains why it's a child's hands that we see with the purple crayon, showing it's all connected. Seeing Bastion and Gyric's minds also something that happened in episode 7, and upon entering it we saw Nimrod changing into him. This is something that builds off the back of this, and putting them all together, there's some really cool connections. Now though this isn't a cameo, we do get some more connections, with Bo confirming that Bastion's the buyer. In the first episode, the Friends of Humanity brought up a mysterious figure, with us now knowing for definite that it is indeed him. So looking at that with some new context, he was the one who made the executioner. Jumping to episode 2, we also get a moment with the government in the war room. If you look to who's just sat beside Val, you'll notice that there's a Bastion-shaped figure. Bo actually confirmed that this is in fact the character, which is such a cool detail to hide in plain sight. It also makes me question what the hell is Val up to. And that takes us into 2 times 0 times 0 times. So I actually think, right, that Val might be Mystique, which I think would be a pretty big twist, if I've not just spoiled it. So far, she's not appeared in the show, but she was a pretty big part of that original series. So it's a bit weird that she's missing from the season, as she's also part of Messiah Complex, which is a big book that the series seems to be leading to. Talk about that more later on, but the fact that Bastion's with the government, here's another big clue. Not leaving theory time just yet, because I think they might use Magneto for a false flag attack, and that will make people then turn on the mutants. When you think about it, it truly is a masterstroke, as he's someone who's been playing both sides. He's working with people inside the UN, but also using Executioner to go out and attack it. It's all building towards his goals of taking down mutants, with the creation of Division being the best way to do it. Taking us in episode 4, that makes a lot of sense too, as we see Forge rubbing shoulders with the character. I think this was the first one everybody noticed, with Ryan Airy first pointing it out.
Shut the f*** up, Ryan Airy!
This makes it seem like he's the one who contracted Forge, and as we know, he's building anti-mutant weapons. So I think these connections to the government and Forge, they kind of give away his MO, and also explain what it is he's up to. That is OZT, which is Operation Zero Tolerance, and as I'm sure you can guess, it isn't going to be good, mate. The guy has zero tolerance towards mutants, and also people who don't hit the thumbs up. Also just realised I haven't introduced myself, so if this is your first time here, then welcome to the Heavy Spoiler Show. I'm your host Paul, and we break down movies and TV shows every single week. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then hit the subscribe, and come to me, my spoiler men. Thank you. Episode 5 is when his big plan goes down, and we see that wild sentinel unleashing hell. Bastion appears at the start of the potty scene, and we watch him brush by the camera. Just as Magneto enters, he stops at the staircase to take a look around. This happens at roughly the 21-minute mark, if you want to go and check it out in the episode. It's an extreme close-up, which you can't fully make out, but that purple skin and white hair, they definitely give it away. I also wonder if that's what triggered Madeline, as we do see a blast of purple light hitting her forehead. Also, Val's pretty suspicious at the party as she seems to be ushering the mutants towards danger. Rather than trying to help them escape, when you watch it a second time, it seems like she's pushing them towards the path of death. Again, something fishy going on with her, and I think there's more to the character than initially meets the eye. Now, Bo stated that episode 6 is sort of a cameo, so instead, I think it's more of a tease towards the character. Rather than having him fully appear though, we do get some hints towards him throughout. We did learn in episode 7 that he's been spying on the Shi'ar, and Professor X gives a history lesson at one point. This sees the globe on his desk start to spin, and we watch as it then erupts into purple flames. So I feel that might be the cameo, but it also could be at the start of the entry. That has a montage with Nimrod, so yeah, again, it is sort of still a cameo thing. Either way, he's starting up OZT, which is his anti-mutant strike team. First introduced in 1997, this major run was a big crossover. A 1997 Xmen 97, it all makes sense. As Bastion says, Sinister's been failing to beat them since 92, which is also when the cartoon started. So as we head to this new era, they're clearly looking at what comics were popular then, and this is why it's all coming together now. Now, as we said before, yeah, OZT's Operation Zero Tolerance, and that kind of plays into the title of the finale. This is going to be going down as one big three-parter, with the title of those episodes being Tolerance is Extinction. That kind of plays into two major storylines, with the second of these being E for Extinction, I think. That is the run in which Cassandra Nova was first introduced, and they have been playing off bits of her arc from it. That had her attacking Genosha with a Wild Sentinel, and thus I think they're combining these stories to give us these two that play off each other. A Zero Tolerance that came off several years of failures, and the anti-mutant groups being at their lowest points. Sentinels just don't seem to work, and thus they need to come up with something better. To do this though, they're gonna need funding, and thus this is where Magneto comes in. I really think, again, that this could be a false flag attack, and then they're gonna use that as a way to turn people against them. Now, Operation Zero Tolerance involved him basically creating sleeper agents out of ordinary people that had nanotechnology fused in their blood. Labeled Prime Sentinels, these turn into machines upon being activated. I feel that this was teased with Trask, who upon dying became a killer machine. He alluded to what happened with Sinister, and it makes sense that Bastion would need him. Potentially, Gyrick was one as well, but with Rogue refusing to kill him, this didn't then trigger it. This could be why Bastion then went out and suffocated him, though I might be drawing connections that aren't really there. Sinister though, he could be the one who provided him with the tech to do it, as he's experimented on mutants since his early life. They might even have Magneto controlled that way, and then use him to attack the UN. That would build off the back of episode 2, when we've already seen what he's able to accomplish. Gonna be honest mate, if I was lifted into space, I'd be a bit nervous, so any reason to get him back for that? I think the UN's gonna take it. Guided by Bastion, this could then lead to mutants being wiped out, or at the very least, stripped of their powers. They have the collars, forges creating weapons, and it could all build into this, basically wiping out the mutants. Now I think that it's going to lead into Messiah Complex again, which sees the mutants at their lowest point. This comes directly off the back of the House of M event, in which Wanda says the phrase, "No more mutants." Now this wiped out most of them on Earth. For years they struggled, but a new mutant was then born in the form of Hope. This started out a political war in which basically every side duked it out for control of her. I don't think the stuff with Scarlet Witch will happen, but we could lead into the mutants completely losing out. This show doesn't seem like it's interested in doing happy endings, and we could close things out with the mutants at the lowest point. This could set up hope as we go to season 2, and then finally lead into Messiah Complex. This in itself then leads into Avengers vs X-Men, which that Captain America arrival could even be teasing to. Now these are of course theories, so if you're watching this video in the future, then do a cable and write below what we should have said. In the meantime, if you're living in the present, then please drop your own thoughts on where things are going to go. Please hit the thumbs up as well, and if you want to support the channel as a member of the Spoiler Society, then please click the join button. You'll get early access to videos every week, and it goes a massive way towards helping us out. If you want to get some Heavy Spoilers merch, we've also got our t-shirt line located below the video that will let you pick up all kinds of tops like our Xmen 97 one, Theory Time one, House of Dragon stuff, Heavy Spoilers one, Marvel tees and more. We drop new designs on there all the time too, so definitely keep an eye out, and thanks for your support. Now if you want something else to watch, you've got a big breakdown on screen right now going over every clue that a certain someone was behind something in Fallout. Won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it, but if you've watched the series then head over there after this. But out of the way, huge thank you for clicking this. I've been your host Paul, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.